Okay, this is the last question. It's a function question, revision of grade 11 work that you're going to see on your the matric exam. So let's just give it a try. Well, here you go. You're told that this sketch shows a parabola that's 2x squared minus 3x minus 2. Sometimes they give you the equation of the parabola, and then they tell you there's a line g of x, and it's got this equation: y equals x plus a half. Well, when x is 0, y is a half, so I know that must go through there at a half. Okay, but the first question they ask is determine the length of AB. Well, you've got to know that A and B, when you're looking at this parabola, are x-intercepts. And that means you just let y equals 0, and then you factor it. Well, factoring this, 2x times x gives me 2x squared. 1 times 2 gives me 2. But 2x times minus 2 gives me a nice minus 4x. And then plus 1x, that gives me the minus 3x. That gives me two x values, minus a half, right there. That must be A. And the other x value must be 2. Now, you don't have to put you could, if you wanted to, you could put them into the distance formula to figure the distance AB. And you'd have a minus a half 0 and 2 and 0 and put it in the formula and everything. But this is a half to the left, and it's 1, 2 to the right. So the total distance has to be 2.5, 2.5. The negative part is a half. The positive part is 2. The distance AB is 2, 5. Okay, let's try the next question. Determine the coordinates of C. Well, this is a parabola, and there's a wonderful little formula that tells you something called the axis of symmetry, where the turning point C always sits on. That little, and here's the formula: minus B over 2A. So you just look, there's A, there's B, there's C. All you do is go the minus of minus 3 over 2 times 2. Well, two negatives make a positive. That makes x 3/4. So the x-coordinate of the turning point must be 3 over 4. This point over here must be 3 over 4. To find the y value, just take 3 over 4 and put it in instead of x. So type it into your calculator. This is a pretty ugly number. So you go 2 times 3 over 4 squared minus 3. Instead of x, put 3 over 4 minus 2. And just press equals on your calculator, and you're going to get the answer: minus 25 over 8. So it's a pretty ugly turning point, but its x-coordinate is 3/4, and its y-coordinate is minus 25 over 8. And that's it. Let's look at the third question. Determine the coordinates of S. Well, S is where the parabola and the line cross. It's where they equal each other. So what you do is you make these two equations equal each other. And you get a mark just for that idea. So there they are, equal to each other. Now fractions, you don't like them. I don't like them when I'm solving equations. So I multiply everything by 2. 2 times x is 2x. Half of 2 times 2 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4x squared minus 6x. I double everything. Now I'm thinking, hey, this is a quadratic. I have to put it in standard form. Take away 2x from minus 6x, you get minus 8x. Minus 4 minus 1 is minus 5. Now you're going to factor this thing. You could put this in the quadratic formula, and that would be fine if you're getting a little freaked out about factoring something like this. But if I put 2x and 2x, I get 4x squared. Now I'm going to have to put 5 and 1 in such a way I need minus 8x. So if I put the minus 5 there, that gives me minus 10x. I have to put a plus 1 here to make it minus 5. Minus 5 times 1. Hey, that gives me plus 2x. That makes minus 10x plus 2x. That gives me the minus 8x. That's perfect. And now we've got our two x values. 5 over 2 or minus a half. Hey, we knew that that was minus a half right there. But the other place where s hits here is 5 over 2. That's the other place where it hits. And all you have to do is take the line and put 5 over 2 in there. 5 over 2 plus 1 over 2 is 6 over 2. and that's 5/2 plus 1/2. Hey, that's 3. So there's your y coordinate. Just take the 5/2 and put it back into the easy function. You could put it in this function, and you'll also get 3 if you put it in the function and 5/2 in, and then worked out the value there. At 5/2, the y value would be 3. And there you have it. There's the coordinates of the turning point. Okay, here's the next question. Find the average gradient between A and C. Well, A is minus 0.5 and 0. Minus 1/2 and 0. C is 3/4 and minus 25/8. Well, to find the gradient, all you do is subtract the two y values, minus 25/8 minus 0. Subtract the two x values, 3/4 minus 1/2, that turns into plus 1/2. Just put that in your calculator. And my calculator says that the gradient is minus 5/2. I just typed it in. I just did the gradient formula, and I typed it into my calculator, and I got minus 5/2. One more question here. One more question. It says, the last question says, determine h of x if h of x is equal to f of minus x. Whenever you see this f, it means find the value of the function at this new value, minus x. All they want you to do is instead of x, put a bracket and then put this new thing in there, which is minus x. Instead of 3x, you write 3 and then you stuff in minus x. That's finding the new function is finding the value of the function if x was negative x. Well, there's your answer. Now you just work it out. Negative 1 squared is just 1, so this is still 2x squared. But minus 3 times minus x is plus 3x. So your new function, h of x, is 2x squared plus 3x minus 2. And there you go. That's how the whole thing works.